Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Ronnie, and I'm just going to give a quick disclaimer. I'm autistic and I have anxiety, so my videos might not always be, I might not verbalize correctly the way a lot of people do. I fragment my sentences a lot, I get nervous a lot, so that's just kind of to be expected, I guess. Since I'm new to BookTube, I just wanted to get on here and do the BookTube newbie challenges. So I wrote down the questions. I'll probably look at my paper from time to time, and yeah, just so you guys can get to know me a bit, and we'll kind of go from there. So question 1, why did I start this channel? Mainly because TikTok is a mess right now, and I love books, I love talking about them. I've been around on BookTube every now and then, I'll check out videos and such, but I've never really taken the time to really look into it and get on and do videos and stuff. So I figure now's a good time to do it again because TikTok's a mess. Then the second part to answer that question is I don't see a lot of readers reading the kind of books that I like, the kind of books that I normally read. So I just want to get on here and have a platform to discuss the things that I'm into. I see a lot of the mainly popular books, and I just wanted to do something a little bit different. 80% of what I read is nonfiction. Last year I read 107 books, and over 80 of those were nonfiction, only 20 were fiction. So that's just my main focus. I read a lot of history, specifically Indigenous history, and I read a lot of psychology. I also do science, whether that's meteorology, astronomy, environmentalism, zoology. So I love nonfiction. I'll dabble in fiction and YA on occasion, but very rarely. And if I do, I have to be in a deep, hard set mood for it. Otherwise, I lose focus, I get bored with fiction. So that's just not really my thing. I'll talk about fiction books every now and then, but otherwise it's mainly nonfiction. Officially, I started reading at age 3, but I've seen pictures that have been dated when I had a book at age 2, so I've kind of always been a reader my entire life. I'm a millennial, so I've got over 30 years of reading experience, I guess you can say. One of the rules that my parents had when we would go camping was no technology other than music. So no Game Boys, no anything tech related. So I always had a lot of free time to read on my camping trips and stuff, and that pushed me to read even more because I was either reading my own books or getting books about the locations we went to. So that kind of helped. As a millennial, I grew up reading the Arthur books, reading the Boxcar Children, those were my favorites. I love the Babysitter's Club. When I was 8 years old, I read my first UFO/UAP book, and that book I actually have right here. And that is The Truth About the UFO Crash at Roswell by Kevin D. Randall and Donald R. Schmidt. And this book got me into my love of UFOs, aliens, and that kind of thing, to the point I have UFO and alien tattoos, which is pretty cool. So this is my original copy from 1997, so when it comes to my books, I take really good care of them, and I make sure they last. And then, when I was 12, and I have the book right here, I read Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee by Dee Brown, and this was my first, real introduction to Indigenous history, and it absolutely changed my life. That's why it's one of my favorite genres. This copy is my original from 2000 and 2001 when I was in 7th grade, and I still keep it in a pristine condition as well. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got started, and and the books that got me into reading. Growing up, I had a hard time connecting with people. Even though I had friends and stuff, I always kept to myself or even when I was with them, I always had a book, and books just they tend to make more sense to me than people do for some reason. I guess whether it's my anxiety, my autism, whatever, like I just connect well when I'm reading. And then the main reason why I love to read, I love to learn. Like whenever in schools, like I wanted to continue learning stuff that my schools didn't teach. Take Indigenous history for example. Were taught about Mayan and Aztec history, but Native Americans and Indigenous people, they were always treated as relics of the past, so I didn't really learn much about them. And then when I read Mary Motherhood and Wounded Knee, I realized like there was a lot more to learn there, so that kind of spurred my interest there. And it's why I love nonfiction so much. There's so much out there as far as learning, and I just like if I could read every nonfiction book in the universe and still have the time, or like speed read them all, I totally would. Because I have a deep passion for learning. What the schools didn't teach, I wanted to figure out on my own and dive more into it, because like school is fine and everything, but I just didn't get much out of it the way I wanted to. And so like I did a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-taught stuff, so that was always pretty fun. As you can see, like this is pretty much my home base as far as my home library goes. I've got 3 shelves, and I'll do a shelf tour later. But I mainly read it in here. This is like my comfort zone, my safe space. I'll read in the kitchen and in the living room sometimes. I'll read in the car. Almost anywhere except for my bedroom. I will not read there, because the second I read a book in my bedroom, I end up falling asleep. For some reason, I don't know why. But like I just can't read in my bedroom. Easy answer is my anxiety. As I mentioned, I tend to fragment my sentences a lot, so a lot of my videos might not always be smooth sailing or clear cut. The way I see a lot of people, like I've seen videos where people just like breeze through when they're speaking and stuff, and I have like a hard time formulating my sentences sometimes. It drives people crazy because like they want me to quote unquote talk normal, whatever that means, but I just have a hard time articulating. I think because like my mind goes way too fast, and I can't keep up with what it is I want to say, because like it's just going like 100 miles an hour. So like that's gonna be the main issue. I ask for your patience, if anything, because I'm not good at speaking, and when I do, like my anxiety kind of kicks into high gear, so I have a hard time formulating my words. And it's usually not so much of an issue once I get comfortable in a setting and once I get comfortable around people. Sometimes it is, other times it's not. It just depends on the situation. So this is going to take some time because I'm new to BookTube, and this is like just a whole new environment for me. And like even though I'm in my comfort space, my library or whatever, I just have a hard time in new situations, and BookTube is completely new to me. So I just ask for your time and patience. That's pretty much all. And then I think just finding another challenge, I guess, would be finding content and what to post and such. I have a few ideas, but I want to create like a schedule, and this way, like this way I can have something consistent. So I do want to, as I go through this learning process of figuring out BookTube and stuff, I want to have consistency when it comes to when I post my videos. So I'll end up doing that. For me, that is introducing people to books that they would not have known about, books that have gone under the radar. I'll read the occasional bestsellers list and stuff, books that are popular, but not always. I tend to read a lot of nonfiction that people just don't really pay attention to, so I think that's going to be fun. It'll give something new in that sense. People hopefully discover new books that they wouldn't have otherwise, and I look forward to discussing my interests personally. Like, I'm open to discussions, suggestions, whatever books that you guys may recommend, and I'm totally down for that too. But I also just want to share my passion for like all these books that I normally don't see on BookTube or Book Talk or Bookstagram and all that social media stuff. So I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good learning experience for sure. As I figure out my way through doing this whole BookTube thing, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. Again, sharing my passion for books. People in my regular life don't read the way I do, and they don't read the kind of books I do. I'm pretty much like the main reader in my family and the people around me and stuff, so that's gonna be exciting. So I'm looking like as a result of that, people just nod and smile, but they can't really say anything because like it's a one-sided conversation as a result, and that's kind of depressing at times because I've got nobody to talk to when it comes to my books. And then I've been a reader for over 30 years. I'm aging myself here, being millennial and all that stuff, but like I want to explore books and book communities in a new way because I don't really get that in my regular life. So I think this will be fun. And that does it for the questions here. I typed them out because I'm old school this way. So I guess that about does it for right now. I do have 2 videos planned that I'll probably film this week and hopefully post by the weekend. So look forward to that. And I guess now if you guys have any comments, any questions, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comment section and stuff. And I can do a Q&A, and that I can get done by next Friday. Give you guys time to ask me questions and just so you guys can get to know me better. And again, I'm figuring this out as I go. I've been watching people's videos and stuff and seeing how they do it. So I'm just kind of in the learning curve since this is my first video. And with that said, I guess I'll talk to you guys later. So this was fun, and we'll see how it goes from there. So, bye.